It's about 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday, December 18th, 2023, 1 week till Christmas. And somebody was asking about how tall my grass is. And the answer is, well, in all honesty, it's not that good. But some of it's growing quite tall, like this stuff here. Since my boot next to it, that's almost to the top of my boot. The tallest pieces, at least. There's like methods of like determining how much forage you have available and things like that. Oh, I should mention that it's about 45 degrees right now. There's a breeze, strong breeze. I want to say a wind from the north. That means cold weather's coming. But we're in the 7th row of 10. The rotation started on November 25th, and this is the 5th cell of that row. So 5th of 7. We do twice daily rotations, so 3.5 days. It's 2 rows in 1 week. Anyway, somebody was asked, well, I think, to get a more scientific measure of how much forage there is available and do some calculations about how many cows you should have and all that stuff. Yeah, so right now I'm just doing it all by eye. When I started doing rotations, I had a beautiful field that I bought in March of 2021. Look at this grass. That little stand of grass is a little bit tall. I don't know what kind of grass it is. I wish I knew. The ryegrass was up to my armpits in June, so it grew really well. The problem is when you looked under the ryegrass, there was nothing. It was just dead. There was just nothing. So it's clear the guy that was doing it was doing the old fertilize and feed thing and using seed, because the ryegrass was all lined up in a line. Clearly it was like drilled into the soil or something like that. So when I first got the field, my plan was to get the fencing all ready and start rotation from day one. But I had so much forage that I didn't want to go to waste. And I figured it'd be better if those seeds, because the grass was going to seed, if those seeds had got replanted in the form of manure, right? So if the cows ate the seed and pooped it out. So I got some cows. I think I got a good deal. They were just across the street. They're a good starter cow, I think. This is pretty much half the herd that I got at the beginning. I had a whole bunch of Herefords, but I had to get rid of them because of drought. It was just too many cows, right? So I kept all the ones that were doing okay, and I got rid of the other ones about a year after I got them. And the nice thing about the Longhorn Piney breed, I don't know what exactly breed it is, the ones with all the colors and the horns and stuff, those guys are far more drought tolerant, and you don't have to know anything about cows to keep them alive. They just need grass and weeds to eat. They'll be fine. So anyway, this is what I got now. But the point is I also invited my friend. He was redoing his field. He needed a place to put his cows for a month or so. And so he brought his cows over because there was way more food than we could eat, right? And so about a month of that, then we took his cows off. I started rotational grazing. And when we hit summertime, the full summer, that year was very mild winter. Or no, it was the Snowmageddon, but otherwise it was a cool winter. And then very cool summer that year. We barely saw temperatures above 80, let alone 90. And so I started rotating probably around July is when I got everything working. The issue was that by that time the ryegrass had all died. And I tried to trample it into the soil as best as I could. With the cows, obviously, I can't do that. But then the summer grass just didn't really come. Well, I take that back. We did get some summer grass. Then we had the drought start. It's the 150-year drought, which 150 years is about how long ago they started recording these things. So the worst drought in recorded history, basically. And 2022, very dry winter. And so the spring came and the grass was not growing. We got a late spring rain, I think in early March. And so by April, we started to see some real growth. And then summer came early. It came early and hot. It came fast. I remember because I got chickens that I was going to harvest in July. And those chickens died. A lot of them died because of the heat. It was like 107 and humid. And it was not a fun summer that year. Then we had another drought. Then that winter of 2022, 2023, we actually got some rain. So by the time spring came around, the grass was growing. It was a really good spring. And then another drought started more in July and August. And so we're on the other end of that last drought here. The last drought ended about, I'd say, a month ago. Maybe 2 months ago, depending on how you count when the drought ended, right? It officially ended about a month ago. So the reason why I'm saying that is the grasses that you're seeing here were not planted by me and probably weren't planted by anyone. These are grasses that the volunteer ryegrass. So I didn't plant any ryegrass seed. I take that back. The first year we did seed some clover and some ryegrass just because, things were looking so bad. And it was more of an A/B experiment. And the results of the experiment was like it didn't do anything. And we saw the clover a little bit, not much. Excuse me, the air is dry. And so now we got this stuff, which half of it I don't even know what it is. And we've got stuff growing and ungrown, stuff growing on top of stuff. So that's kind of the story here. So the goal is that I'm going to be a total cheapskate, and I'm going to try to build a farm without fertilizer, herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, that kind of stuff. Fungicides, we're not going to do that. We're going all natural because I'm a cheapskate, but also because I believe that you can grow better grass with more nutrition that way, and the cows will be healthier and happier. Another thing, this question comes up a lot, and excuse me again. It's one of those questions that, to me, it's like a weird question. Just asking the question is weird, right? And the question is this: why do you raise an animal to kill it when you can just go to the store and buy the meat? Wow, it's dry. Anyway, the answer to that question is there's something back there in my throat. I'm gonna die one day. Not today. So the question is kind of silly. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna try to edit that out, but I'm probably not gonna. I don't really have time to edit videos. So the question is silly because whether or not you raise and harvest the animals yourself or you buy it in a store, those animals were raised and harvested, right? That's the silly part, okay? The thing that we do get to choose is not whether we eat animals, because we need to eat animals. Our bodies need that protein and the vitamins that come from the animal flesh, right? If you want to be healthy, you have to eat animals. If you try to live your life without eating animals, you will be sick. And even the best vegans, you see them, they're like sickly compared to people that just eat meat and cheese and stuff like that, So we need to eat meat. That's not a question. So somewhere along the line, an animal has to be slaughtered, has to be processed, and shows up on your dinner plate, right? Now the thing that we get to affect, the choice that we get to make, is how that animal lives its life. This is the key. So we get to choose whether that animal lives a miserable life or, a happy and fulfilling one. And so my question for people is this a happy and fulfilled herd of cows? Are they getting all of their needs fulfilled? Is there any desire or want that they have? Are they being subjected to any form of torture or pain unnecessarily, right? And I think the answer is that this is about as happy as cows can get, right? The electric fence is probably a thorn in their side. They stay away from it. They don't like it, right? But aside from that, everything else is just mere bliss, right? Now, obviously, these cows, they've been through a lot through the drought, and through my own stupidity and learning how to raise grass and stuff like that. But you stick a cow in a feedlot and you feed them things that they're not supposed to eat, like grains and stuff like that. And they're caked up in manure. The soil is dead. The soil is dead because there's too much nitrogen in the soil. And it's not healthy, I think. The feedlots are not healthy. So I would prefer, if the meat that I ate never saw a feedlot, I would prefer, in fact, if the cows were harvested right here, in their happiest, blissful moments, if that was when they were put down to be eaten, right? And there's like some evidence, I wouldn't say scientific evidence, but there's some suggestions that when you harvest the cow in the field where it's been living its whole life, it's way happier, it's way tastier too, because there's no like adrenaline or anything like that in the meat. So that's kind of the things that we do control, is how the cow lives, how the cow is dispatched, right? And so if you care about animals, you want the best life for those animals. Another thing to keep in mind is that if it weren't for the meat of the cows, we would not have cows. They would not exist. We would not raise them, right? And these animals wouldn't be able to survive on their own in the wild. Okay, maybe the piney woods would, but not anymore. Not in today's modern society. So the cows exist because we need them. Okay, there's a symbiotic relationship here. And then we have the ability to provide them kind of an ideal lifestyle, right? And that's kind of our job versus their job. Now, if you're the sort of person that tries to humanize or anthropomorphize the cows and think that they're just little baby humans with 4 hooves instead of hands and feet, you're wrong, okay? They're not. And I know this is hard to understand, but our sense of compassion, we tend to anthropomorphize everything, like even inanimate objects. So you need to understand that if you're feeling compassion towards these cows because you think they're baby humans, that compassion's misplaced. These aren't baby humans. These are animals. In many respects, these are wild animals. I myself, even though these are relatively domestic and tame, and they've been bred to be that way, I have a sense of danger right now. I know that there is the possibility that one of these cows could do something stupid and I could end up in the hospital or dead or worse, So anyway, that's kind of the situation here. So these aren't baby humans. They have completely different desires and wants. They're probably not even conscious, but if there is any consciousness, it's probably focused on, what grasses they like to eat and which cows they like to hang out with. That's probably the limit of their human-like behavior and functions. Everything else is just all mechanics, biomechanics. They survive by eating lots and lots of grass. If they don't eat lots and lots of grass, they can't survive. And so pretty much everything they do is focused on getting lots and lots of grass and putting it in their bellies. And then aside from that, they rely on each other. They're very social animals, unlike humans, right? Humans have some degree of sociality and tribalness, but these animals are extremely social, to the point where when they feel threatened, they don't isolate themselves. They form together in a group. It's very different behavior than humans. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on that. Guys, have a great day. Take care and bye-bye.